It's Nihal Sarin taking on the young talent from Pune, Aditya Samant. Queen endgame with 4 pawns on each side. It looks like a drawn position, but Nihal is trying to set the last trap here. He has less than 30 seconds on the clock. What should he play here? He's trying to figure out what to do. Is there some way in which he can enforce the queen trade? With just 8, 7, 6, and he plays with 5 seconds on the clock, queen d5. A very interesting move, because if you take the queen, then after e takes d5, the pawn is a passer and black wins. So Aditya cannot take the queen. He rightly plays the queen to b4. An excellent move here. And once again, does Nihal now pursue the queen exchange? What does he do? With every move that you make, you have 30 seconds increment on the clock. Plays his queen to c4 and offers another trade. Aditya is a very strong player. He's an international master. He's not going to fall for this. He's not going to take the queen. He plays his queen to d6. And with such an open king, there are bound to be perpetual checks in the air. Nihal plays his king to g6. For now, you have protected everything as black, but where is the weakness in white's camp which you're going to attack? Queen f8. The white queen is ready to give a lot of checks in the position. Nihal centralizes his queen here with queen to d5. The only thing that Nihal can claim here is a slightly better structure and a more centralized queen. And if his king can somehow go this way, he can start to create some threats. But a4, what a nice move by Aditya. He's liquidated his pawns, and with b takes a4, Nihal smiles, offers a draw because queen e8 check, and you will win back the pawn, and the position is a draw. Very nice defense by Aditya. After drawing his game with Nihal Sarin in round 2, Aditya Samant faced Abhijeet Gupta in round 3. So he was playing against all the best players of India. Abhijeet opens his game with d4 like he always does. Knight f6, c4, e6. And very soon we had the Nimzo Indian on the board, knight g2 variation. And Aditya here plays this slightly provocative bishop d6 line, where you want to provoke white to go c5 and then drop your bishop back. White goes knight g3, c6, bishop e2, and now a nice move e5. It's all sort of part of Aditya's prep. cd, ed, queen takes, and here white can claim that he is playing against the isolated pawn, but black has very smooth development, knight c6, bishop e6. And Aditya plays this very well. First he plays a6 with the idea of b5. Bishop f3. He's trying to put pressure on d5, Abhijeet, but black is just too well developed, and rook c8 and has a lot of space. Queen e2, and now came bishop e5 with the idea of mangling up the pawn structure. So bd2 was played, and in came this move d4. Now when e takes d4 was played here, you have to be slightly careful as black, because your bishop is hanging, so you really can't take with the knight for now. And so Aditya played this move bishop to g3. And here an interesting thing happened in the game. So it's white to play. Abhijeet Gupta would have thought for some time, and I guess he was thinking maybe to take here or here. But he realized that there are a lot of problems to solve. Say for example, fg3, then after knight takes d4, queen f2, bishop b3, attacking the rook, rook f1, because if rook e1, then there could be a fork here with knight c2. So rook f1, knight f3, you can't take with the queen, d2 bishop is hanging, so g takes f3. And in this position, perhaps he didn't like it, or he might have calculated h takes g3, when after knight takes d4 things become even more tricky, you have to play your queen to e5, which is a very, very weird square to move the queen. And then after bishop b3 here, the rook is attacked. And I think it's not at all an easy move to find now, but even this position is very bad. But there's a tricky defense here for white, which is bishop h6. And the point is that after bishop d1, rook d1, now d4 is hanging. So if you take here, then rook takes d4. And the other point is that after takes, and just moving the queen when you are an exchange up is not good enough because of bishop g7, king g7 and rook d6 attacking the queen and the knight. So there were some tricky defenses here. Of course, after bishop h6, you are not, after bishop d1, rook d1, you don't need to play queen b6. You can start with rook e8, which is a nice move. Queen g5 and play your pawn to g6, and black is doing okay. But in the game, what happened was Abhijeet played his bishop to e3, and he thought that if his opponent, now he saved this pawn, if his opponent saves the bishop, let's say bishop b8, he can play d5 and he will recover back his piece. But what did Abhijeet miss here? Black to play. Of course, he simply missed bishop c4. There will be no fork anymore. The queen is attacked, and so queen d2, and then he played his bishop back to b8, and black is simply a pawn up. Bishop g5, queen d6, bishop b3, and here Abhijeet resigned. A blackout moment to not take back the piece over here and playing bishop e3, and Aditya went on to take the full point. He's playing exceedingly well at the Abu Dhabi Masters, and very likely that he might score a GM norm here.